I'm going to go through every single problem that we had on our recent quiz. So right here I've written them all down just like you guys had, and let's start. So the first thing in this first problem, right, you want to remember what your goal is in each one of these. I'm going to explain this in this case, and then I'll just do it for the other one. So in this case, right, you want to get P by itself on one side of the equal sign. So in the way of P being by itself in this case is this -2. Now the next thing you want to see is what is the operation between the -2 and the P. And when they're written right next to each other as they are here, the operation is multiplication. And the way we undo the multiplication is dividing by -2. And whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other side. And I'm dividing by -2 because -2 divided by -2 is +1. And then +1 times P is just P equals 28 divided by -2 is -14. And I've done the first one. I've solved for P. Now this next one, the fraction one. I tried to go over this really quickly in class beforehand, but we should have some idea of how to do something like this. I mean, we have these two fractions. Yes, it's true, but again, your goal stays the same. You want to get A by itself on one side of the equal sign. So this is the left side of the equal sign, and this is the right side of the equal sign. You want to get A by itself, you got to multiply by 12 on both sides of the equal sign, because you want to undo the division now. So it's A divided by 12. To undivide, you multiply by 12, and then 12 divided by 12 becomes 1. 1 times A is just A equals. Now this here, right, it's 12 over 1, and we went over how to multiply fractions. 5 does not share any factors with 1 or 3 other than 1, which is redundant. 12 though, does 12 share a factor with 3? Yes, 3. So I divide them both by 3, and I get 4 on here. 12 divided by 3 is 4, and now I can go across. -5 times +4 is -20, and then 1 times 1 is just 1, and anything divided by 1 is just itself, and A equals -20. Okay, now these next two, okay, again, similar idea here. I want to get N by itself. What I do on both sides here is that I divide by 17. 17 divided by 17 is 1. N is 1 times N is just N. And then -255 divided by 17. I don't care how long this takes. Take your time. If you need to sit here and do this. Look. Okay. Let's see. 1, 17, 8, 85. What is it? 5? 15, 50 plus 35 is 85. Yeah, 5. So it's 15. And then N is 15. Okay. You have to know how to do long division. The next thing, okay, now I have this here. Again, I want M by itself. The operation between the -12 and the M is multiplication. To unmultiply, I divide by -12 on both sides. I get M equals -12 divided by -12 is 1. 1 times M is just M. -12 divided by -12 is 1. And I get M equals 1. Okay. Now we're on to 2 steps, okay, and we're trying to get X by itself in this case, right? So you want to work your way from out to in. So you're working with this left-hand side, out to in. This +6, get rid of first. -6 on both sides. +6 minus 6 is 0. You're left with X over 3. Equals 1 minus 6 is -5. And then now I have a one-step equation. 1 minus 6 is -5 on this side, but now this here I have X divided by 3. So if I want to undivide, I multiply by 3 on both sides. 3 divided by 3 is 1. 1 times X is just X. And then -5 times +3 is -15. I saw a lot of people mess up their signs. Remember, negative times a positive is negative. Okay, now again, I want to get x by itself. I work my way out, in. So I'm minus 9 on both sides to start. Minusing 9 is 68. 4x equals 68. And then I divide by 4 on both sides. 1 times x is just x. And then 68 divided by 4. Again, you gotta know how to do this in every which way. I know that 4 times 10 is 40, and then 4 times 5 is 20, so 15 is what? 4 times 15 is 40 plus 20, which is 60, so then 17. 17? Make sure, we gotta make sure, right? Look, you can do it like this if you're not sure. 1 fits in, 4 is left over, 2, 8, minus 4 is 2, 28, 7, 17, yes, x is 17. Okay, now, again, similarly, you want to get x by itself, you work your way furthest from x is this positive 7. So I'm minus 7 on both sides. And this is a tricky case, right? 7 minus 7 is 0. I'm left with x over 10 in this case. And then 7 minus 7 is 0 over here. Now that's fine. Don't get scared. Think of what it is that I need to do to get x by itself over here, right? Well, this 10 is in the way. And it's x divided by 10. So you have to undivide by multiplying by 10 on both sides. And you get 10 divided by 10 is 1. 1 times x is just x. And then 0 times 10 is just 0. And I get x is 0. Now the next thing. Again, work your way out, in. I want to get rid of this negative 3. So I add 3 on both sides. Negative 3 plus 3 is 0. I'm left with n over 4 is equal to 4. I want to get n by itself. This 4 is in the way. It's division. So I got to multiply by 4 on both sides. 4 divided by 4 is 1. And 1 times n is just n. 4 times 4 is 16. Okay. Now, in this case, now you have an added idea here. Your added idea is that you have to distribute, or you have another sort of thing to deal with, which is the distribution. So you distribute negative 3 times negative 3, and then negative 3 times positive 4p. So negative 3 times negative 3 is positive 9. Negative 3 times positive 4p is negative 12p. Equals 81. And now you just solve it from here. So you minus 9 on both sides. I get negative 12p equals 72. And then I divide by negative 12 on both sides. And I get negative 12 divided by negative 12 is 1. 1 times p is just p. And then negative 72 divided by 12. What is that? Well, if it were, how many 12s fit inside 72, right? First of all, the answer is negative because it's a positive divided by negative. The signs are different. So 12, 24, 36, 48, 60, and then 72 is 6 times. 60 plus 12, yeah, that's right. 50 plus 12, wait, it is right. Yes, that's right. Good. Okay. Now, next one. Now, again, you want to simplify this left-hand side as much as possible. So what you're going to do is you're going to first distribute this 8. 8x minus 56. And then the minus 4x just comes down. Equals negative 84. The negative 84 just comes down. And now in this case, you can combine like terms. You have this positive 8 and then this negative 4x. They combine to a positive 4x. minus 56 is equal to negative 84. Now we add 56 on both sides. Negative 56 plus 56 is 0. 4x is equal to negative 84 plus 56. Well, negative 84 plus 54 will be negative 30, so this is negative 28. And again, sit here and make sure you add and subtract your integers correctly. I divide by 4 on both sides. X equals negative 28 divided by positive 4 is negative 7. And I'm done with that. And now again, I start off by distributing on this left-hand side. I'm going to get negative 6 times positive 6 is negative 36. Negative 6 times negative 7n is positive 42n. And then this equals 300. I want to work my way out first. I want to get rid of this negative 36 to start. I add 36 on both sides. That brings that negative 36 to 0. I'm left with 42n is equal to 336. And then I divide by 42 to get rid of the 42 because it's 42 times n. If I want to undo multiplication, I divide by 42 on both sides. I get 1 times n is just n. And then over here, 336 divided by 42, I'm going to guess. I'm going to say 6 times. No, 6 times won't be good. Maybe no, 6 times might work. 36, 6, 12, 18, 24, plus that is 27, so I undershot it. Let's see, 42, that's why. Wait, so I want to say 42 would be 12. Okay, so that's no good. So then let's say 3, 8 might be good, 8, 16, so 42 times 8, let's see if I get, I want to see if 8 42s fit and make up the 336. So this is 16, 8, 16, 24, 32, plus 1 is 336. And there's 8 42s that make up 336. I start off by distributing this 2. So to distribute, I'm going to get 2 minus 14x. And then equals negative 96. I want to work my way furthest away from the unknown that I'm trying to solve for. I'm trying to solve for x. So I start at the positive 2 by minusing 2 on both sides. Positive 2 minus 2 is 0. Negative 14x is equal to negative 98. And now I divide by negative 14 on both sides. This cancels. I get x is equal to, well, 98 divided by 14, I guess 6, 12, 18, 24, maybe 6 times 60 plus 20, okay, so maybe 7, no, 7, maybe 8, 16, 24, 52, nope, 7 times, 7 times, yeah, 7 times, okay, I know that it's 7, but I just want to convince you. I know it's 7, 14 times 7. I want to make sure that that makes up 98. 7, 14, 21, 28. 2, 98. Okay. Okay, now again, these are the more long ones where you have to do a few operations. You first want to start off, in this case, with distributing this minus 8. And that might be a little tricky. Make sure you guys see that it's negative 8 times this, everything on the inside here. So the negative 4 just comes down. Negative 8 times negative 6 is positive 48n. And then negative 8 times negative 8 is positive 64. Then negative 276 just comes down. Now, negative 4 and positive 64 are positive 60. And now I can't simplify the right-hand side any further. I got to start working with both sides. I first get rid of this 60. This is going to be negative 3 136. And now I divide by 48 on both sides to get the n by itself. And I'm gonna guess that there's 6 48s in this. Okay, let's see. Negative what? I'll guess 6. That's 48. It's 4, 6, 12, 18, 24. Plus another 4 is going to be 288. Okay, so it's not that. I'm going to guess that there's maybe 9 then? No, then there's 8. Alright, 8. Yeah, 64. No, like 64. 8, 16, 24, 32. Okay, wait, so what did I do wrong? 60. So let's see, I made a mistake. So you see, you gotta take your time. Did I write down the problem wrong? Let's make sure. Let's see. So wait, this is the problem. Did I write it down? So we've got negative. Everything's negative. Everything is negative. 276. 276. Negative 4, negative 6, and negative 8. Okay, good. Alright, so now where's my mistake? I distributed this negative 8. It's positive 48. And then positive 64, this combines to this. Okay, so then this is the operation that's wrong. Minus 30 would be 206. Another one would be that 48. Am I multiplying them? Did I multiply them? 48, 6, 12, 18, 24, 288. And then 7. Maybe 7, maybe that's why. Oh, 7 is gonna work. Oh, 56, yeah, 5. 7, 14, 21, 28. 28 plus that is 336. So negative 7. Good. Okay. Takes me some time too. Negative 7. Good. Okay. And now the last one. Negative 7 distributed to both terms. Negative 42 and minus 49 plus 4. This comes down. Negative 129. Now you combine the like terms. Negative 42n minus 45 equals negative 128. 29, sorry. I add 45 on both sides. This goes to 0. Negative 42n is equal to, and this now is 129 minus 45, 4, 84, negative 84, yeah, negative 84. And then I divide by negative 42 on both sides to get n being 2. And we are done.